Previously on Two Wheels to Anywhere, after watching NASCAR driver Larry Moloney's disappointing finish at his last race due to brake failure,
I tried to brake and it went straight to the floor.
Pete challenges him to a drag race, pitting NASCAR against motorcycle.
I know you need to beat someone, so I'm going to offer myself up as a sacrificial lamb.
To prep for the race, he took on some professional training at Fishtail riding school.
It didn't look that good. Wait a minute, hang on. Did you call me?
In this episode, the team returned to Fishtail Riding School and Pete trains on his BMW K1200 sports bike on the dry track. Pete also enlists the help of Fishtail instructor Tim Hafner.
If you come out too hard, you could spin the rear tire.
As a coach to keep him on track and offer advice for the drag race.
Pete!
I know.
Put the phone away!
Is that why I didn't win that time?
Yeah, I think so.
Two wheels to anywhere, kickstand up and heading somewhere. While you're waiting for the lights to change, we'll be hanging in the left lane. We got two wheels to anywhere, open throttle, full tilt, no fear. Been waiting for a summer day. Two wheels burning, run away.
The weather, although raining this morning, is looking good for the rest of the day as the team arrived back at Loudon, New Hampshire, home to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
This session, you're going to go out, you're going to follow the instructors, and you're just going to work out the butterflies. I know what it's like. I've been there many times. Adrenaline is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It sharpens your skills. It sharpens your perceptions. So don't worry about that piece.
Some of the tips that Tim gave me for running around the track was even the wet or the dry, be smooth. Very important, throttle and brake.
So when you're sitting on the bike, all right, we're gonna go with just the basics because you haven't done a lot of this before.
Preparation is important. Thinking about stuff before you go into the corner.
If you want to slide your butt just a little bit, that's great, okay? But you got all this weight up here that's balled up right on the bike.
By putting the weight on the inside of the bike doesn't have to lean over as much.
The more we can take this weight and move it to the inside of the turn, the more I can hold the bike upright.
And that means you can decide how you're going to use that trait.
On this next session we go out there, I want you to think about when it's time to turn, I want you to just relax your elbow and your shoulder into the turn.
You either go around the corner faster or you can lean more if you need it.
And get your chin pointed through the turn.
To go even faster around the corners.
And take a quick glance down. And if your chin's kind of lined up with the switch gear, that's not bad.
I'm just about to head out and I'm terrified actually. It's the first time I've had it on this bike and it's a pretty powerful bike and it's far too powerful for me on this track.
Pete heads on to the track with instructor Tim Hafner for the first run of the day, who offers some classroom critique of his skills.
I'd be screwing the power on to stay with you, and then all of a sudden, I'm coming right up your tailpipe because you're just stopped. Right. So we talked about that when you accelerate and charge the corners that hard and you're not comfortable cornering the bike, you overbrake, and then you end up tiptoeing through the corners at a much slower speed. We're going to see big power starting right about here. You weren't bashful about that at all. Hard on brakes, slow down, slow down, slow down. And now, I mean, you can just see how that guy's just opening up on you going through the corners. Yeah. And he's not going very aggressively there either. You're very tentative coming through the corner here, which, you know, I understand, because the last time you rode this, you hit an iceberg in the North Atlantic.
After a while, he stopped talking about the boat thing in the Titanic.
Yeah, it's true. I was hustling that Titanic around like a speedboat.
Are you qualified for this much tonnage?
The difference between the first and second event, the one was a slower bike the first time in the rain.
You know that whole comment about me being bolted to the bike, like a BMW bike? Bolt it.
You tend to get really comfortable sitting bolt upright.
He came back to second track day with his faster bike.
It's like taking off the bolts and throwing them away.
We'll have to check and see if your foghorn's working.
The foghorn.
Tim gave you other tips though too.
Keep all anchors on board the ship, you'll be fine.
What you don't actually know is Tim had a rope attached to the back of his bike and was towing me.
There's a lighthouse that comes with me. He did, yeah. Valentino Rossi, step aside. Pete Akbar, step into the plate.
While the Two Wheels to Anywhere team were at Fishtail Riding School, they met with track instructor and co-owner Robbie Nigl, who's been racing motorcycles for 10 years. Robbie has accomplished local and national vintage and AMA road racing fame and multiple #1 plates.
Robbie, it's great to meet you. Tell us a little about yourself, because I know that you like to go fast. And we know that you're in Fishtail. Where did it all start?
I just like riding bikes. About 10 years ago, I started riding a Ducati. 10 years I've been racing.
Yeah.
I did well from amateur through expert.
Robbie explains his approach to track racing while he talks us around the track here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
As far as track time, I'm thinking ahead of me all the time. I'm always thinking next turn. Looking where I'm going. Obviously, I'm seeing the people in front of me so I can figure out how I'm going to get past them safely on a track day. When I'm on the track, it happens fast. I can't talk as fast as I'm thinking, obviously, now. Like, I'm going to turn 1. I gotta think how much I'm braking, how much am I trail braking, downshifting, making sure I can pass this guy on the right, on the left. Am I gonna take this guy on the outside or the inside on the turn? Track days supposed to be the outside. Turn 3, hard braking, going into right-hander, making sure I get my line here, grabbing the apex here, hard acceleration. If there was another camera on a bike, probably you would get that wiggle that you could see the rear tire just braking, because I'm right at the edge. I'm right at the edge of where my traction is to, gripping.
Coming up after the break, Pete continues with his track training and gets some critical feedback.
The difference between the first session and this session was just amazing.
He also gets prepared for his drag race with Larry.
Tim, how do I go faster?
No chance.
Try second gear.
Got my kickstand up, Sunday night down, ride.
I'm a bit nervous about the race with Larry. I threw him the gauntlet and said, I bet my bike is faster than your NASCAR. NASCAR versus street bike.
He knows he thinks he can kick your ass.
That should be interesting.
This guy's got a trailer, right? He's got a crew, he's got mechanics.
We're going to go to the New England Dragway, a quarter mile, and then we'll do like a best out of 3 or whatever and see how we get on.
What do you have?
Any chance you could be down at Epping to help me out? Tim, yeah, he's my sort of like mentor for the day.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Do you think you're really going to be able to stand a chance against 600 horsepower NASCAR?
You could get hit by the car.
On a motorcycle, it's a little difficult to keep the front end planted, especially with a bike with a lot of power.
Do I need a chute?
You need a chute. It's got 600 horsepower, I've got 167.
I'm going to have to fix the brakes before I go there. All right. Yeah, because I'll probably need them when I come to the inn.
You get hit by lightning.
Unless you have the parachute.
Even with the parachute.
3,000 pound, sort of fat NASCAR.
If your front end decides to go airborne at some point during the day today, that would be bad. If you've got the presence of mind. If you think there's anything wrong with your bike, get your hand up in the air and just let everybody know, hey, there's something going on. I need to get off the pace here. The name Fishtail goes back years and years.
Fish. Like imagine fish on bikes riding.
On the tailpiece of my motorcycle, the back piece, I have the Christian fish symbol.
Okay.
And I was looking at it one day and I'm thinking, hey, this is kind of funny.
Right.
Because of the double meaning.
Yeah, it's a fishtail down the road.
And when we came up with the company, so we said, what do you want to call it? I said, how about Fishtail? Okay.
You know, I'm just ready for the next level. You know, I've been riding streets for 10 years. I just got to this place where, you know, I've done the stunt thing, highway wheelies for 4 or 5 miles.
You learn some of your limits. You learn what the motorcycle's going to do if you do something.
I can apply it on the street, but at the same time, I'm not going to be doing these speeds out on the street.
I'm excited to figure out how this track works and how people ride here and meet new people.
You learn, I mean, like things like target fixation or you know, I need to go to the inside of this corner or don't take the apex squat. You can take that stuff from the track and put it on the street and you're infinitely better.
Motorcycles are inherently dangerous, as we all know, unfortunately. But the track is the safest place to learn.
Come to a track day. It's the only thing I can say. You have to do it to get that full experience. It's people telling you and you think about, just come do it.
After some much-needed lunch, Pete and Tim prepare for an afternoon of training on the track.
We're on track in 25 minutes, so I'll catch up with you when we go out there.
Great.
And we'll just swap back and forth, and then we'll come in and talk.
Thank you so much, buddy.
All right.
All right.
The difference between the first session and this session was just amazing. It really was amazing.
The end result was he was just a much faster, much more confident rider.
This is where you were the most aggressive on the track, but aggressive in a really good way. The bike was pointing where you wanted it to go, and you were getting on the power at a good time, and you were handling it really well.
There were some really good riders there. They split us up into A, B, and C. A being the best, like whiz-bang demigods.
We break it down A, B, and C groups. So A, you're fast.
B being the sort of like you've done it before and you think you're halfway decent.
B, you're a little more advanced. You know, you're getting a little more used to it.
And C being like the absolute beginners.
So C is the beginners, those who are just getting, you know, used to the track.
Pete was in D.
You know, they're trying to figure out, they're scared out of their pants, you know, as they're driving around.
I put myself in B because I've been, you know, I have done one track day before, but it was a couple of years back. And I was thinking that I'd actually be okay. But I was really shocked. Because like these people were just like, meow. Then also the other thing is I was speaking, I was going around because I had a microphone. And I had to say,
who are you speaking to?
I was speaking into the microphone. I was trying to make a recording. Speaking into the microphone was like trying to do a running commentary. Would take a certain amount of processing power away from my ability to ride the bike.
I'm heading out to the track now, and I think Mr. B group has already gone, so it's going to be very interesting.
You sound a bit laid back there.
Well, you know, this is all about...
I'm just, you know, hanging out. I just got up, had a bit of breakfast, and...
There's 32 minutes of it.
Wow. I can't wait to hear it all. Very interesting.
Got my kickstand Sunday night down, crazy ride.
Pete has challenged his friend, NASCAR driver Larry Moloney, to a drag race.
I've recently challenged a NASCAR driver to a drag race.
What?
No. Any chance you could be down at Epping to help me out?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Pete and the team head to the New England Dragway, located in Epping, New Hampshire. The Dragway is the only quarter-mile drag strip in New England.
Do I think I'd beat Larry in a car?
Hey, Larry. Hey, I'm Tim.
Hey, Tim. How are you?
I'm good. I'm coaching Pete today.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
So the question is if I could get the boxing gloves on and we'd be sort of like, you know.
Yeah, well, no, I don't want to make you nervous or anything, but...
You mean you fight him inside the car?
Fight him inside the car.
You know, he's watched a couple drag races on TV.
Oh, yeah?
He's pretty formidable, yeah.
I like the guy, and I respect his racing skills, and the fact is he's a damn good racer.
How come he's not here?
Well...
He's at home.
He'll be here.
If I was riding up from Boston, the problem was I went to the wrong drag strip.
I don't know where he is. Look, I don't know, but he'll be here.
This is kind of like how he is, right? You're always late.
So we'll give him another 10 or 15 minutes.
No.
No.
I wasn't late.
If he doesn't show up, we'll just pack up and go home.
This is the most important moment of your life.
What's it?
Probably not.
He's good. He's
probably thinking I'm not going to turn up, and therefore it's going to be an easy thing, so he let his defenses down.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It's very passive-aggressive.
Very passive-aggressive. Genius.
Pete finally shows up at the drag strip, but his coach Tim is not happy.
Where you been?
Hey man,
do you want this? Do you want this?
I know.
Come on, we gotta get serious here. What were you doing?
Oh man, I shot straight past the exit.
Do you know how important this is?
I know.
This is for all the marbles, man. Come on, it's a car. He's really excited about this. Yeah. In fact, I think as soon as he gets out of the bathroom, I mean, how much can you throw up, really?
Tim was trying to get under Larry's skin.
Some reason it's not firing up.
You need any help working on this? Can I take the spark plug out or something?
I think we're good.
He was kind of probing around.
You sure? Happy I can let some air out of the tires for you?
Pete needed the edge.
Can I unhook the brakes, maybe?
Larry is a seasoned NASCAR driver, right? So he's been in tough situations. So
he knew he was going to be racing Pete.
I saw him stare a dog down once. It was just scary. I mean, that dog. I mean, it was only a Chihuahua.
We're neutral, right?
Yeah.
But Tim was really committed to helping me win the race, and that meant that he was absolutely, totally all over the map. Oh, God.
Run it up to maybe about $5,000.
Okay.
And hold it there as the light sequence, and then when you get the green light,
about 5,000. Okay.
Feed the clutch, yeah, because that way you'll get a good brisk launch. But he's got to baby this, or he's going to break it.
He's going to break it.
Oh, he's going to have an incredible grip, but that's one of the reasons he's worried about the axles, because
he doesn't want to be like this.
No, it's going to stick so hard, it's going to torque the axles so much that they'll snap. Kind of what I expected was going to happen was they were fairly evenly matched going down, at least from what we can see here, and it was the start. It was the start, it was everything. Nice. Nice.
Did I beat him?
Oh man, you stomped him. You owned him.
Well, Larry lost the race.
I was trying to put you in the wall.
He was gutted.
but he wasn't. He didn't care.
Pete ran a 13.0 basically and 121 miles an hour.
We didn't have any traction.
Right.
We've got small tires and way too much horsepower.
And if you look at Larry's numbers, he ran a 14.762 at 103.
First, second, and third, and fourth.
You were spinning
the tires.
If he was to really let all 600 horsepower go at the line, he can easily snap his axles.
What surprised me was how much it lived. My bike was flying.
Yeah, you got that
nice fishtail. I got a fishtail.
You know, Larry did tell me though that he did let you win.
Did he tell you that?
I saw him. He was crying when he got off the track.
He was crying? Was he crying?
Yeah.
You see?
I'm impressed. I guess I don't get your stereo.
There's 2 wheels waiting over 4, so promise not to punch me.
I should.
Every time that car went past, you could hear the rumbling, and you could feel it. It was visceral, like.